We're now going to turn our attention to this rather handsomely weighted bass drum mic from SE Electronics. Bizarrely, or rather amusingly titled the SE-X1D, which when you see it written down looks like Sexy D. But it is actually quite sexy, I have to say. But it's a dedicated bass drum mic that can also be used for miking other percussion, or also perhaps piano, because of the way the piano is such a percussive instrument. So it's designed specifically for sort of low end and, you know, fast attack instruments. It features a handcrafted titanium sputtered capsule, which gives a quicker transient response, which is quite vital when recording instruments that create a fast attack, as I said, like pianos, percussion, bass drum, or maybe even floor toms. You could maybe try it on that, but it is really bass drum kind of designated. The cardioid polar pattern with off-axis rejection really helps assist in eliminating bleed from either other parts of the drum set or from other instruments that may be, you know, in the close vicinity. And this will really just help focus exactly on you know, if you're using it for a kick drum, for the kick drum, or the piano if you're using it for piano or percussion. Now, the mic features a 10 dB pad and bass cut. It's constructed with an integrated shock protection with a built-in rubber capsule mount, so it will take a fair little bit of hustling around. Inevitably, particularly on live stages, you can quite often get quite a lot of vibration, and the way this is shock mounted, it will prevent any of that transmitting through back to the recording or to the front of house desk, whichever you're using it. It's fitted with a side mounted stand adapter for easy fit into a mic stand. Okay, that pivots obviously. It's quite stiff, but you know, you can always loosen that. It features a 3-pin XLR connection, so again it gives you a nice level of security once you're plugged into it. Has a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and also features an 8 Hz bass cut. So there we are, that's the sexy SE-X1D bass drum mic from SE Electronics. Now, we have been using this actually on our review recordings for this issue, so check out the Tama review and also the Ludwig review, and that will that'll give you some idea of how this works in a very flat situation, because we're not putting it through it's not going through a desk, we're not putting any effects on it or anything like that. What this is capturing with our reviews is absolutely the sound that is there, and it's not being treated in any way either. So if that impresses you, then certainly check out the sexy SE-X1D from SE Electronics. Feels really rather weighty, really very professional, and it looks very smart too. So there we are, sexy indeed. We're now going to turn our attention to a pair of condenser microphones from SE Electronics, and in this instance they are the SE5s. Now, as with the SE-X1D, I should correct myself, that we're using on the bass drum, we've been using a pair of these to capture the audio for our Meinl, Ludwig and Tama reviews. So again, if you want to check out really how they work, then just listen to those reviews, and that will give you an idea of how they work absolutely flat. And by that, as I said earlier, we're not putting them through a desk, we're not adding any effects, any sort of reverb or compression or gate or anything like that. What the microphone is capturing is exactly the sound that you're hearing at your end. So hopefully your headphones or your speakers on your computer are of a good quality. I should hope so, otherwise you're probably listening to some horrible sounds anyway, generally. So what we have here are a pair of SE5 condenser microphones. Now, these feature, again, cardioid polar pattern with a 100 Hz bass cut. There's also -10, -20 dB pad switches, and the pair come with these rather handsome custom shock mounts, which are very, very easy to operate. You simply apply a bit of pressure here, and that opens if you like, the rubber pads that hold the mic. So they really do grip the mic very, very well indeed, which is a good idea, because if you're using them as overheads, which is obviously their purpose, and they're kind of hanging in this direction, you don't want them sliding out. And I have to say, these shock mounts are truly impressive, and they really do grip the mic, because it's quite a heavy mic actually, I have to say. It really does grip the mic very, very well. I'd be certainly very reassured to have a pair of these hanging above my kit. I would know that they would not likely to be falling down upon my drums, or even my head for that matter, anytime soon. Now, a little more detail for you. The cardioid polar pattern delivers a clean, smooth, on-axis response, and again, as with the SEX1, this helps with off-axis rejection. So again, what you're kind of pointing these mics at is what they're going to capture. They're not really going to be capturing anything else that might sort of bleed in from the side or wherever. They're very kind of, if you like, directional in that sense. They will only capture what you want the mic to capture. Now, the 100 Hertz bass cut can be applied to decrease the proximity effect. This really means that if it's like really, really hot, or that there's what's been thrown at the mic is like really hot, you can just cut that out and it will really just bang it back, and it will just give you a level of quality very quickly from the instrument that you're trying to capture. So it gives you a smooth, consistent sound. That's really what I'm trying to say. And again, also the -10, -20 dB pad will help achieve that. Now, apart from being very well constructed, of a really nice, comforting sort of weight, robust, and as I say, this rather handsome shock mount, the other nice thing is that they come in this rather handsome little flight case, my friends, which they both nestle in there along with the shock mounts, and also you get a nice stereo T-bar. I'll just put one of these down and I'll open the case and show you what I mean. This is the said case. Simply is how you release the mic. Pop that in there. This goes into the its. If I hold that up, you can probably see that a lot better. So it all fits really nicely, very neatly, very snugly. This is really nicely defined, so there's no movement here with it. Nothing's going to be, you know, falling out every time you open the case. Comes with this nice T-bar, so that allows you, if you want to just use one stand, which is in fact what we've been using for our recording purposes, this issue, then it really makes mounting a whole lot easier. It also cuts down on hardware and such things like that. One of the other things that I forgot to mention is that, as you'll notice, the microphones are black. And you might think, well, so what? But actually, if you think about it, having a black finish, it actually allows the pair to sort of blend much more into the background, particularly if you're using them in a live situation, or perhaps in a live situation that's being filmed. Here we are in this thing, in a situation perhaps like this, where there's a black background and not a green or purple one. But it would have certainly allowed the mics to help blend into the background, so you're not suddenly seeing two sort of, you know, bright chrome objects above a drum set. They would kind of disappear into the background. So there we are. There's quite a few things from SE Electronics for this issue. The SEX1D bass drum mic and the SE5 pair of stereo condenser mics. Very nice they are all indeed too. So do check them out if you're in the market for some mics, or you just want your kit to sound fantastic. And with a minimum, really, frankly, a kick drum mic and two overheads, job done. Many famous producers have used that or even less and achieved fantastic results. So do check out the SE Electronics mics. Thank you.